I know, Andy.
Never get sick of hearing that.
No, how could you? If you get sick of hearing that, you're not American. I tell you what, that's just my take on it. Because movies, big part of America. Big
That's right.
part of our culture. And goodness, you think of Depression times and people going to the movies
For a nickel.
and having that popcorn. That's where kind of popcorn came about.
Yeah, that was one of the things that really kind of held up during the Depression was movie theaters.
Movie
Because
theaters.
people were trying to get away and escape a little bit from
Yeah.
depression. So
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, what always struck me was when you watch the movies from the 30s, so often the characters are wealthy. And so often they're wearing tuxedos. And I think that the poor poverty-stricken ordinary citizen going in, taking their nickel and going in to see the picture and seeing how the rich people live, I think that kind of cheered them up.
There you go.
that is one thing that's kind of, in the last 20 years or so, maybe we've kind of had a little bit of a slip. I think people did kind of always look up to Hollywood stars. That was a, they said people looked up to them, and now it's been, it became a little tainted over over this and that, but
Yeah, it's interesting. I guess that has changed a little, though you still have, obviously, that, people that are starstruck or, because you have all the magazines that sell the movies, I mean, celebrities.
And you have people like the Kardashians that are famous for being famous.
Crazy.
What are your accomplishments? Well, I'm famous.
Hey, there we go. That's, I guess, an accomplishment, isn't it?
I see what you did there.
Well, the ability to manipulate social media.
Yeah.
So they really, I guess you have to give them that. They've definitely mastered that.
Yeah, and that's something that's really changed things. Social media. It's interesting now how you see social media influencers. People from YouTube, TikTok. They are in some commercials, or they're with celebrities, people that are known on TV and in the movies, and then all of a sudden you have this social media influencer. Unless you follow them or know about them, you wouldn't know who they were.
Well, one of those weird things that a lot of that started with video games. And some of these guys, they started videotaping themselves playing video games, and other people would tune in to watch that. And was it a PewDiePie? It's a multi-millionaire now. Was one of the first that kind of took off on that. And
Well, how fun is that to turn on your TV and watch some teenager play Warcraft? Boy, oh boy, that's entertainment, huh?
well, if you've seen some of the TikTok stuff, these 5 or 6 of them, they rent a $1 million home in Malibu or something, and they just hang out and kick out content.
Yeah.
To like 24/7. But
Yeah. Well, and that goes back to, I think, what all started that, the real world. Reality TV, MTV, and, other programs. When they started doing that reality TV, well then with the internet, you can have those reality programs, or watching somebody play a video game, or make crazy shots, basketball shots, or doing stupid things to each other.
Jackass,
like Jackass, yeah. So it's kind of crazy, but.
Jackass, I get. That's
So does Gordon, right? He likes that one, right?
it's funny watching people hurt themselves.
Because
they do it to themselves. Yeah.
Yeah, and when people trip or when they fall down or crash on their bikes, I mean, Chive, the Chive TV or Chive.
Oh yeah.
Like a
Fail Army and stuff.
Yeah, Fail Army, where people are failing on trampolines, on bicycles, whatever.
Oh yeah, Tosh.0 and Ridiculousness. It kind of got those going.
So, hey, well, I guess we should talk about the movies, though. Playing at Sawmill Theatres.
No new movies this week.
No new movies,
so, yeah.
but some good movies in the theater. One of them, Boys in the Boat.
Best movie of the year.
Whoa, there we go. You heard it here, folks, from And
Oh, and
make
hey, we
it-
are in that time of the year too. The Academy Awards are coming up. I think nominations are next week.
So, wow, best movie of the year for you, Mr. McKinney.
Yes.
Yes.
Of
Wow.
course, what's today's date?
19th.
Yeah, the 19th of January.
Okay.
So, best movie of the year for 2024. I got you. It took me a little bit there, but I got you now. Okay, I'm tracking.
And well-deserved.
Mhm.
No, it is a fine, fine movie. All sports movies are, you know, people that are regular listeners to the show know that a lot of movies are genre movies. You know,
Mhm.
they're in a little category. You know,
Mhm.
we have a horror movie that we can talk about later on.
Mhm.
We have a musical that we're going to talk about later on. We have a kids movie that we're going to talk about in a little bit.
Mhm.
Well, this one is a sports movie.
Yeah.
But it has some unique things about it.
Mhm.
It's historical. It's not a contemporary, you know, race car driver movie or
Mhm.
something like that. This is from involving the 1936 Olympics in Berlin, the
Mhm.
famous Nazi Olympics.
Mm.
And the story is about a rowing team.
Mhm.
Now, where do rowing teams come from?
We were talking about
Harvard,
this, Harvard, Yale,
Yale.
Princeton, the Ivy League
Yeah,
schools,
yeah.
yeah, money.
UW.
Money. Mhm.
University of Washington?
No.
No.
You don't think about it, no. You think
Absolutely
of,
not.
yeah, University of Washington, no.
Well, that's where these guys are from.
Mm.
So they've got everything against them.
Mm.
You know, they're, and money.
Yeah.
Of course, rowing is associated with
Yeah.
well-to-do people.
Mhm.
And it's true.
Yes.
So these guys are poor. I mean, individually, they're poor.
Mhm.
It's in the Depression.
Mm.
We were talking about that off air.
Yeah.
And the Depression was not much fun from what I understand.
No,
And
no.
these guys don't have two nickels to rub together.
Mhm.
And the University of Washington is not endowed to the same extent that Harvard is.
Mhm.
So the institution itself is lacking in the kind of resources that it takes to produce an Olympic team.
Mhm.
And yet,
They do it.
they do it. They make it to Berlin
Mhm.
and show up the Nazis.
Mm.
This is the same Olympics that had, I can't remember anybody's name.
Jesse
Jesse
Owens.
Owens?
Jesse Owens, a famous
Mhm.
runner, won 4 golds
Mhm.
at that, and the boxer as well,
Yeah, Joe Lewis
Joe Lewis.
beating Schneider.
Max Schnell.
Max Schneider.
I think the Nazis love that. Huh?
Yeah, no, I don't think they like that at
No,
all.
they didn't like that at all.
They didn't like that.
Served
no.
them right,
Yeah.
jerks.
Yeah, so, you know, a classic underdog story. And I think that's like one of the most endearing types of stories, I think, for people in general, is underdog. You know, being able to root for the person that, or the team, or the group, or whoever it is that, you know, against the odds, against the establishment, against the money.
Star Wars.
Yeah.
That first Star Wars was, you know, with Luke Skywalker, this kid on a desert thing, and then taking on the whole empire and
Wow.
becoming a Jedi. That's what that whole story was.
Yeah, I didn't even
an
think.
underdog.
Yeah, I was thinking, you know, different movies. Well, the U.S. Hockey team in the what I think '84 Olympics. You know, college players in the movie that
Miracle
was
on Ice.
Miracle on Ice.
Great movie, by the way, if you haven't seen that.
Awesome movie. Cinderella Man.
Oh,
You know,
there
a
we are.
big underdog, and you know, in that movie, and you think throughout history, I forget what the movie is, the name of the movie, but the basketball team, now they're the University of Texas, El Paso, UTEP, but I forget what their name was, but when they played Kentucky, and there was a movie made about that, I'll look that up, but where they beat Kentucky in the national championship game, and the coach, Don Haskins, called the Bear, he was the first college coach to start an all-black basketball team in college. There was a kind of an unwritten rule, you could only play two, black players at a time. And Adolph Ruff was the coach, of Kentucky, Adolph Rupp. And he was, I forget how many championships they won, but they were defeated by this team from El Paso, Texas, where basketball wasn't a thing. They were defeated in the championship game, and that kind of changed basketball right there. So all these, underdog stories. It's what's the one with Kurt Warner that recently?
Yeah.
Yeah, Kurt Warner, the Rams quarterback. Underdog, wasn't it?
I think
Underdog or something?
it was Underdog.
Yeah. So I don't know.
And, yeah, he actually was exiled to
The arena football.
the arena football. Yeah, I like arena football. I think it's fun. It's very fast.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, it is. It's a blast.
And then he comes in and not really given a chance. Offensive coordinator, riding him, didn't really like him, wanting him just to quit, saying you're too old for this. We have our quarterback. What do you do?
Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Yay, Kurt Warner.
Yeah. So I don't know. I think that type of story is always popular with
Nothing more American
underdogs.
than the underdog triumphing.
Wow. There it is. It's
part of
ingrained.
absolutely.
It's woven into our fiber.
It absolutely is, and that's why we kicked out stupid old King George. Is because we didn't want people born into positions of power in society. You got to work your way up, and it doesn't matter where you start.
Yeah.
It's where you end up. Isn't that the American way?
That's so.
We started out as
wow.
underdogs,
Yeah.
Oh,
that's true. So that's why I didn't really think about that, but I think that's why those movies connect so well with us in America.
Yep.
Wow.
And just another aside on the same movie, Boys in the Boat.
Yeah.
Directed by.
Don't know who was it?
Who's the most handsome actor in the world?
Clooney?
George Clooney.
George Clooney. Oh my gosh. Okay. Wow. Hey, there we go.
Yeah. Sometimes he directs. He hasn't done a lot, but what he's done is valuable, and this one certainly is valuable. I encourage people to go see it.
Yeah.
It's been here for a while, hasn't it, Greg?
Couple weeks now.
Couple weeks now. Rated PG-13. Showtime's 12:45, 3:45, and 6:45.
Yeah, and some of that too, I think, so we don't have any new movies this week. Next week is a little bit late too.
Okay.
I think we're hitting a little bit where Hollywood is catching up from the writer's strike,
Gotcha.
and the actor's strike, and so
Yeah.
there's not a lot
Boy,
of.
it's always something, isn't it?
Well, we were just about there on COVID, and that was all passed, and they go into writer's strike and then an actor's strike, and
Yeah.
but February's not too bad. But then once we get past that, I think we're kind of Dune comes out on March 1st. I think the new Dune, which
Yeah. Should be great.
incredible.
But hey, another movie, The Beekeeper, at the theater. So have you had a chance to see this one, Andy?
Yes, I did.
And what do you think?
Oh, I thought it was loads of fun.
Yeah,
Second best movie of the year.
Jason Statham. Yeah, in The Beekeeper, rated R. Showtime's 12:45, 3:45, and 6:45, and just a fun, action-packed movie. Andy?
Yeah, absolutely. It's kind of silly, but we don't take these too seriously. One guy cannot possibly do all of the things that Jason Statham did in this movie, but
Kill
we
giant
don't
sharks,
care. It looks neat.
Yeah, Nick too. Yeah,
Kill sharks.
Yeah.
Prehistoric sharks.
With a spear.
Yeah, with the homemade. Yeah, on the jet
I was
ski.
gonna say a raft made. Yeah, he's
Yeah.
on the raft, carving that one out.
But entertaining.
But
Nonetheless.
entertaining, yeah. Oh no, it's to see Jason Statham dispatch bad guys is always just a pleasure.
There we go. So,
He used to be a diver.
oh really?
Yeah.
Oh, I
So
did
he
not
was
know that.
Very high level competitor in the sport of diving when he was a young fella.
Well, there we go. So,
got his start in Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels. And if you haven't seen that, go see it. If you haven't seen it lately, go see it again.
Go see
It's hilarious.
there we go. Another movie, and a little different than The Beekeeper, Mean Girls. Mean Girls, rated PG-13.
I'm scheduled to go see that at 12:15.
Okay, and it's a musical comedy based on the Broadway musical and 2004 movie of the same name, Mean Girls. So, wow, a musical comedy. Huh, we'll see. I know. Wasn't a recent movie, The Color Purple, the remake of The Color Purple, that was a musical, wasn't it?
Yes, it was. Very, very similar kind of history. Mean Girls, the original movie came out in 2004. Then just a few years later, there was a streaming only Mean Girls 2. Then we have a Broadway musical version of Mean Girls, which apparently people liked.
Yeah.
And now this is a musical based not on so much on the first 2004 movie, but based on the Broadway play. And there's a ton of musical numbers in this. I think there's about 18 musical numbers in this. So it's a full-on musical, and
Wow.
And the girl that played Moana in the Disney animated movie, she did the voice for that, and she's in this. She's one of the singers.
Oh, and the movie, what would you guess? Let's go to Rotten Tomatoes and guess the critics and the audience, how they rate Mean Girls. What's your guess, Craig?
Oh, I see, 52 for critics, and 77 for audience.
Okay, I say 78 for critics and 88 for audience.
Wow. So critics 70. So 70 for critics. Audience 66.
Ooh.
So not quite as high with the audience, but still, decent. Yeah. So it's very similar, between the two, critics and audience.
A tough one for the audience. People are used to the old one.
And that's what one of the reviews it said, as long as you're not comparing, don't compare the 2004, Mean Girls to this one, but just enjoy it for what it is. It's a fun musical comedy.
Yeah, and I thought that the musical version of Color Purple that just left the theater, I thought that was a perfectly good movie.
Yes, well, and so did the majority of the people that went to see it, because that did get great scores. Yeah, really solid scores. So Mean Girls rated PG-13, 12-15.
And they brought in the actress that sang the leading, or not the leading role, but the leading mean girl role in the Broadway play. She appears in the movie. It's her first movie that she's ever been in.
Wow.
So there's some good singer girls in this.
Oh, there we go. 12-15, 3-15, and 6-15 for Mean Girls, rated PG-13. If you have kids and looking at a kids movie, Migration, still in theaters, rated PG, and that's been doing great.
Kids are loving it. Yeah.
Nice.
It's a good one.
Yeah, and showtime's 12:30, 3:30, and 6:30 for Migration. Odd Ducks Welcome. Have you seen that one yet?
No, I haven't.
Hey,
I get to see a lot of them, but I don't get to see them all.
No. Yeah, and that one has been doing.
Like I said, kids love this one.
Gotcha.
It's good. It's about some ducks that don't want to migrate.
that
We like it here.
Yeah, we like it here. Let's stay here.
It's a dad duck.
Yeah.
Everything's good. Let's just stay here.
Hey, there you go. Sounds
Dad,
fun.
we want to go.
And And another PG movie still in theaters,
Well,
Wonka.
one thing
yeah.
good about contemporary animated movies is
Yes.
sometimes they have very famous people that we're familiar with.
Mhm.
Like in Migration, Danny DeVito.
Danny DeVito. I
Can you imagine
know.
Danny DeVito as a duck?
Fun. That just sounds fun.
Actually, yeah.
It does sound fun.
Yeah, I can see that.
Elizabeth Banks.
Wow.
Aquafina, I think, is in there too.
Aquafina?
Aquafina?
That's the water, isn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
and the actress.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, she's actually a New Yorker. I don't know how she came by that
Interesting.
moniker.
Yeah. There we go.
But she's fun. She's known for her comedic work.
Okay. Wow. So yeah, rated PG, and then Wonka still in theaters, and that is rated PG as well.
Just
And
a terrific movie.
a terrific movie, huh?
Yeah.
Timothy Chalamet.
Chalamet.
Yeah, in that movie, and
He's coming up in Dune too.
yeah, wow, he's making the rounds. He's appearing a lot of places. Huh?
He's pretty impressive.
Mhm.
You know, he's shown he has definitely some range here, and
Mhm.
going from Wonka to Dune, those are completely different.
Mhm.
Opposite
Or the
spectrums
cannibal
here.
movie.
That one, the King.
The King.
Bones and all. That was,
Bones
that
and
was
All.
just, that was a strange
The
movie.
King, yeah.
No, he performs these different roles, and he doesn't just play himself. He's an actor.
Mm-hmm.
I'd say that some.
Like
well,
Jason
like
Statham.
Jason Statham. There you go. Yeah, he's Jason Statham's going to be Jason Statham, but you get someone like a Timothy Chalamet that can really be whoever.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and Wonka, I believe, just receiving, Rotten Tomatoes. What do you think with Wonka?
Oh,
Critics and
that
audience.
was 90 and 90.
90?
91, 91?
Yeah. That's right. 82 for critics,
Okay.
but then 91 for audience.
Oh.
91 for audience. Yep, so, people really enjoyed Wonka.
Yeah, and this is we're all familiar with the several versions of Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. This is a prequel. We get to know the origin story for Willy Wonka. And so it's interesting from that perspective. And that's a hard sort of a thing to pull off, I think, and Chalamet really nails it. He's great in this.
Mm-hmm.
And I was quite surprised.
And Hugh Grant.
And Hugh Grant also is a little Oompa Loompa, huh?
Loompa, yeah.
Yeah.
Hey.
They call me Lofty.
And that is, I guess, a danger of making a sequel. There is that potential to, people have something in their mind, a movie that they really loved, and you come in and look at a sequel to it, or a remake, and it's easy to put people off, I guess. But with this one with Wonka, I guess this one's a prequel, but this one I guess really hit on all cylinders. People still enjoyed it.
And it's, I don't have the numbers in front of me, but it is solidly profitable.
Yeah, I think, I remember you giving some numbers, and also not a crazy big budget, was it?
I think it was pretty big.
Oh, it was pretty big? Gotcha. Box office. Wonka box office. Is it a box over 500 million in global ticket sales?
Well, see, there's nothing wrong with that.
No, yeah, over $500 million. So, yeah, impressive. 125 million to make Wonka. It says the budget 125 million.
They're happy, yeah.
Yeah, and this one said grossing over 510 million worldwide. So
And
they're
still,
happy.
and still putting along.
Still going along. But I mean, 100. You think 125? I don't know. I guess 100 million or a little over 100 million for one of these big movies. When we saw the 200 million. How many movies were the Marvel movies or some of the Disney movies or these movies that were like 200 million? and then they're grossing 100 million or less than 200 million.
Yeah.
Aquaman.
Aquaman? Yeah.
That was one of those, $200 million movie.
But pretty much everything that in 2023 that Disney made were financial failures.
Gotcha. So yeah, Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom, 378 million worldwide.
Boy, that sounds like a lot of money to me.
But
What'd they spend on it? 200?
Yeah. What was the budget? 205.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's where the 200 million and okay, 370 worldwide. Okay, you're still getting close, and it'll break even.
Eventually, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, even Waterworld, after 22 years, broke even.
I think you've gone back to Waterworld a few times. That's an easy one to go back to. Waterworld.
Notorious.
Notorious.
Infamous.
So the final movie at the theaters, that horror movie you were talking about, Night Swim, rated PG-13. So not maybe graphic, but a scary movie. A woman swimming in her pool at night, hence Night Swim, is terrorized by an evil spirit.
We don't want any of that. We don't want evil spirits in our swimming pools.
No, you're going for a nice night swim, end of the day, just want to relax.
Whoa!
Yeah,
This is one of those formula films. They should probably spent maybe 20 million making this thing, or 30 million, I guess, somewhere in there. And you put out these little horror movies, and they crank that out in the first weekend.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's The Nun, all those Conjuring films, all that.
Yep.
You keep the budget down and make your money fast.
Yeah, and I think this is another Jason Blum production. And you're right, it's a formula thing, and he has the formula down pat. He knows what people want in a scary movie, and he gives it right to them. Here it is, folks. Come on in, get scared. Get that adrenaline running.
It's like a roller coaster.
Woo!
If you like roller coasters, then you're going to like it. If you don't,
Then you're not.
You're not going to like it.
Then you can go see Mean Girls.
Yeah.
So
Watch the singing and dancing.
yeah, so it's as of January 17th, Night Swim has grossed 21 million in the United States and 11 million in other territories, for a total of right at $32 million.
15 to make it.
You got it right on the dot. 15 to make it. So it already broke even.
Well, the way I
profitable.
The way I look at it, the way I understand it in my mind is half of the revenue for the theater, half for the production company. And I know that that's not exactly right, but that's the kind of the rule of thumb that I have. And by that rule, they're profitable. So good for them. But with movies, it's really hard to figure out how much they're actually spent, because I always stay till the lights come up, because I like to see all of the things go by in the credits. And very often it says, and thank you for the film department of the state of Georgia. Thank you for Cine Quebec. And movies that have nothing to do with Georgia or Quebec are somehow or another making money in those jurisdictions or from those jurisdictions. So that makes it difficult to understand completely how much they actually spent.
Those are all tax credits.
Yeah.
The different states. I mean, that's kind of how you attract these film companies. You give them tax breaks and give them incentive to go into your state and make a movie.
Yeah.
Well, like New Mexico has a very generous situation with that, and Arizona doesn't.
Yep.
So you have movies that are historically placed in Arizona,
But they're actually filmed in New Mexico.
filmed in New Mexico.
I know it was at, that League of Cities conference. That was one of the presentations that they discussed, and there are organizations and municipalities that are focusing on getting those movie companies here, because they said it's silly, they have to drive through, or they have to go through Arizona to get to New Mexico to film a film that's based in Arizona. But they're, like you said, in New Mexico. So that's something, you know, that some people are very conscious of in their efforts, you know, to get them here to Arizona, and the revenue, it's good revenue.
It's like a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
You bring a Super Bowl into your state, and it brings in all sorts of money, you know,
Yeah.
tourists and you know,
Yeah.
just that flow, and movies, usually not, you know, on that level, but yeah, movies do the same thing. You know, they bring in the cast and crew, and you know, they're spending money on catering and
Everything.
And we do at the state level, we do have a bureaucrat
Mhm.
that tries to facilitate movies, but the state of Arizona doesn't give them money. And, you know, that's a big deal,
Mhm.
you know, if you're trying to decide where to make your movie. So I go to Arizona, beautiful, great scenic shots, be terrific, but if we go another 100 miles, they'll give us money.
Yeah,
And so
Yeah.
that's quite an incentive.
yeah, oh yeah.
you'd spend that extra money on cutout saguaro cactus.
There you go.
Cardboard.
Also want to mention February 10th, that's Saturday, February 10th, at Sawmill Theatre, 10 a.m., the showing of The Thin Red Line, and that's the Elks Lodge putting that on, and that's for the anniversary of the U.S. victory at the Battle of Guadalcanal. So The Thin Red Line playing February 10th, so make sure you mark your calendars for that.
I think they got 10 Academy Award nominations. for that.
Seven.
Seven?
Academy Award nominations, including Best Picture. So, and there'll be special messages from President Ronald Reagan, Johnny Cash, Lee Greenwood, a video that was put together
Oh, super.
by Razor Thin Media, Cameron Davis of Razor Thin Media. So that will be presented before the movie, and then also the Basin Honor Guard will be there. So hey, that is February 10th at 10 a.m. at the Sawmill Theatre.
Be there or be square.
There it is. So thank you guys. Time to get back to the music on KRIM with some Beatles, David Bowie, Nitty Gritty Dirt Band, and more. But first, let's get a quick update from the National Weather Service.
With this morning's KRIM weather
I like the
forecast,
Beatles.
the surrounding
Beatles,
areas,
yeah.
no
It's a good day sunshine. Good.